Good morning. Today we're going to be doing a reading for our Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We access spirit guides with the divine white light to never let anything low vibrational, negative, or evil penetrate our mind, body, soul, or spirit. I actually use myself and the cards as the vessel to communicate the message as clear as possible. I actually provide Cancer for what they need to know at this time. And I ask you to walk with me for those of my friends, the sun, the spirit, the holy, and the divine on the other side. Thank you so much. So we're going to start off by pulling for Cancer, past, present, and future. And then we're going to work our way down just to see what the story is and what's going on. So we'll give them a little shuffle. And this is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Okay. So for Cancer, we have past, the sun, present, the world, and future, the Hierophant. Okay, so just initially looking at these three cards, and I'm sorry you guys for the lighting right now. We're having some people working on the wires and the power lines around our house, so still pushing through, but you know, so let's see. So in the past, we have the sun. In the present, we have the world. And in the future, near future, we have the Hierophant. So what this shows me, here, Cancer, is that there was a period of time where you have actually experienced something that was very fulfilling, very happy for you. Simply put, very fulfilling and very happy. Now, with the sun card being there to add on to that, regardless of happiness, I also see the red on this, I don't want to say this cloth, but it's moving about freely. So to me, this is almost about, you being just kind of rooted and grounded, regardless of the situation, you were happy. You were okay with the situation, you were happy with it, and you were just going about life. And here we are in a present situation. We have the World card. Now, world usually represents a cycle here, whether it's ending or beginning. I don't necessarily feel like this is a beginning of a cycle. I feel like it's a beginning of an end. And I'll explain why that makes more sense in a second. Now, the Hierophant here, this to me is all about seeking advice, getting the keys, getting the knowledge, finding out which way to do it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So to me, this just kind of looks like you're seeking counsel. And I feel like it's, again, because the World card is sticking out to me. And let me explain. So, yes, we have the World card. Looks the same almost every time. But what's being dominant in my eyes is the two red ribbons at the top and the bottom. That's tying it right there in the centers. One can represent the beginning of a circle, one can represent the end. But since there is no beginning and end, they're linked together, right? So that's why I feel like you're basically looking on how to get back to the sun. I was happy at a point in time. In this situation, I'm not. I'm just coming to the close. How do I get back here? So this World card is really like circulating these three cards to me. How do I get back to the sun? Okay. So I'll move these up. And let's see what else we have going on. All right, Spirit, maybe get some clarification for our Cancers with the Sun card here. What is going on? So we'll clarify the sun, and we'll clarify the World card, and we will clarify the Hierophant. Alrighty. Oop, no, we don't want to start a fire. Okay. So I'm grabbing another deck too while we're here. So what's being clarified by the sun is the Devil card coming out in the reverse here. And then we have the, what is this? This is the Six of Cups. And then we have the King of Cups in reverse, clarifying the Hierophant. Now, to me, what's kind of going on here is the Sun card is being clarified by the Devil in the reverse, all right? It's almost like polar opposites here. But to me, it just kind of shows that, yeah, there was a situation here, whether this is friends, family, business. I do feel a lot more towards business and also relationships, but more so business. And the reason of that being is because this relationship, if it was one, didn't actually feel like a relationship. It felt like a transaction, right? You give to me, I give to you. It's tit for tat, going back and forth. And that's not really the healthiest dynamic, in my opinion, because who wants that? You know, who wants a gift knowing that someone else is expecting? Who wants something knowing that there's so many expectations being placed on them? So then in the middle, we have the World for our present. Now that's being clarified with our Six of Cups. Now, it looks like a young, healthy person's handing a cup of flowers to an older person, right? I see the white, fluffy hair, kind of like a grandmother, you know, looking woman. I don't want to say energy. And it looks like to me we're giving towards the future. So it's like, the World card is just coming here to let you know that, we are looking towards the future. We're tying something up and we are looking towards the future. And the flowers to me just kind of point out that we are, looking to spread our seeds, right? Is that the word for it? Fermenting? I'm not sure. I don't think that's the word. Don't hold me to that. Don't make fun of me. So we're looking towards the future with bright eyes, bright perspectives. We're also putting our emotions towards that. We're handing this cup over because we are looking for it to be filled, and the others are filled. And what's clarifying the Hierophant is our King of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so it looks to me like you're trying to figure out emotions here. The King of Cups is someone who is very balanced in their emotions. And while there is no such thing as perfect balance, there is an acknowledgement of what needs to be done, how I can handle this better, and things like that. So it does look like you're trying to seek advice on how to move forward in this, how to stand your ground, keep your boundaries strict, right? Because it looks to me like, when that sun moment was here, it was almost like something came in and swooped us off our feet, right? So it just kind of looks here like we're trying to switch our energy, because I see a negative energy here, but it's like you're almost like, you know what? I can do something with this. I can do something with this energy here. And you're trying to find out a way to do it. How can I do this? What is the best way that this is going to be? All right, because with the Cancer, I don't want to say a journal at all, but it's the emotions again. So you probably wouldn't understand something until someone communicated to you with emotions, right? It's not even about, what is going on. It's about how this makes you feel. Okay, a Cancer is someone who, and everyone's different, of course, but a Cancer is someone who's going to say, if someone comes to them and it's like, hey, how's this outfit look? Well, they will give you a compliment or tell you how it looks, but then they'll say, well, how does it make you feel? Is it comfortable? Is it too tight? Do you feel like you can go the whole night? Do you feel like you can go sit down and eat in this, like for dinner? And they actually make you dig deeper. They give you some depth. It's not just about how the outfit looks. It's how you feel when you're in it. So that's kind of what's going on here for me. Yes, the Sun card is here and it's being clarified by the Devil. But it's like, yeah, things were okay, in the recent past, but then something came through and maybe it was blindsided. You were blindsided. So yeah, they're looking for a way to get back to that, and you're looking for a way to do it, but it's almost like in a discreet way. How do I do this without causing the most problems? How do I do this without causing chaos and things like that? And how do I do this? Because to me, it's almost like it was like a quick energy switch. Okay, so maybe have some clarification for this, the Sun and the Devil in reverse. So we have walking away as the first card. It did come out in the reverse here, so in the past, it almost seems like it was a repeated cycle here, and it was almost like you were bouncing back and forth, right? It could have been a situation where you were on and off about a decision here, or about a person, or, some of you could have even been in relationships where, you knew it was time, to do it, move on, and then you do it, but then they come back in and they, they do something to make you forgive them, or they do not forgive. You should always, but you get my point. They do something to make you put those walls back down, right? And there was a reason why you originally built them. All right, clarifying our World card in the Six of Cups, we have indecision. So when I see that World card again, the red, I look at those red ties on the World card. That's keeping that what is that, an olive? I don't know. Olive branch. That's keeping that together. And it just tells me right here that you're at a crossroad. You don't know whether or not you should keep giving to this situation here, or if you should start putting your energy and stuff towards the future with the Six of Cups. So you're kind of at a crossroads here. All right, and it's so funny because I'm at 8 minutes on time, and then we're at 8 right here in the deck. And that's just kind of significant for me. So if you are, kind of compelled to go look it up, I would go look up some angel numbers. 888. I'm not too strong on the angel numbers as far as how they work, and when to look for them. But, you know, whenever I see a number and it just seems significant, I look it up. Why not? So may we have some clarification for our Hierophant and our King of Cups in the reverse, please, Spirit. We have the Temple Path. So again, the Hierophant is all about seeking advice, seeking knowledge, that sacred truth. What do I do? Please let me know. And then the King of Cups is like, look, I understand your emotions are kind of all over the place right now, because King of Cups is in reverse, because he's looking here at the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is turning away from the devil here, right? So it's just like, nah, I'm done. World card says cycle closed, all right? We're moving out of the situation. I don't care how or when, I'm moving out of the situation. The King of Cups is here in the future going, I don't know, did I make the right decision? So it is kind of that thing of, you don't know what's right and what's wrong, which way to go, because you're so nervous that, you know, you really don't want to make permanent decisions for temporary emotions. And that's it. You're just trying to be strong on your boundary, but also respect your emotions. And, you know, basically, I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm going to do what I feel is right. And whether that is, you know, going back to the situation or moving forward, I'm going to do what I feel is right. But you're seeking knowledge. So that's what the Temple Path is all about, you being guided. All right. Is there any other energies right now for Cancer that need to be brought up for each one? I'm going to pull one for each row. All right. So let's pull one for walking away in the past. We have the Garden and the Gate. So again, the other card talked about walking away. This one is the Garden and the Gate. So if you notice here, she wears the key right around her neck, but that butterfly is flying free. She wants to go run with it, but she doesn't. But she has the key. So it's, again, it's that thing of, I know where I want to be. I know where I should be. And I know I'm the only one that can set myself out of the situation. But why are we holding ourselves back? Because we're indecisive. We want to make the right decision. And it's hard because you're in a battle right now. It literally looks like you're just in a battle with your emotions. I see nothing else on there except for cups. You have the Sun, the World, Hierophant, and then cups, cups, cups. All right, and what are we indecisive about, Spirit? And we know we have the Blossoming Abundance. Ooh, and look at this card. You notice that all that's like forming in like a cave itself, right? So if you were just to be walking around and let's say you just didn't notice this huge cave right next to you, you wouldn't even see all the beauty inside. So it's almost a thing like, you're like, okay, this path looks really scary. That path looks really scary. But you just have to make a choice, because one of those paths is hiding this blossoming abundance. And they're just asking you to give energy towards it. And even if so, pull a Hansel and Gretel, drop some breadcrumbs and keep walking. And if you don't like it, turn around. You can, there is nothing is permanent. And it's almost like the sense of, if I make this decision, whether it's this one or that one, my whole world comes crumbling. Or if I make this decision, then everything's great. But whatever's for you is for you, Cancer. You're just trying to figure out how to do this. You're trying to be emotionally strong in a situation. All right, Spirit, may we have some clarification for the Temple Path, please. Let's see. We have Magician in the Mirror coming out. Okay, so Magician in the Mirror here. So the Magician here has an infinity sign above his head. And he sits there, you know, kind of with the duality, right? He has fire and then he has ice or water, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. And he's the Magician in the mirror. So usually when you see a ghost or something, usually they don't have a reflection here. So to me, personally, that just kind of shows that, you know, there is no one like you. And right now you do possess those skills, those tools. You can make this tornado right here in his hand. You can cause chaos or you cannot. It's completely up to you right now. So with the Temple Path, they're saying, with these two being here, they're saying, look, you are being divinely guided. All right, you're asking for assistance. You're seeking advice here. And whether you know it or not, you are. You're going with the flow. That's what you do. And the Magician in the Mirror here just says, look, you have all the tools you need. You know, you really don't have to ask for much more. You just have to go with it. Go with your gut. Go with that feeling and just use what you know, because you know a lot. That's what it's saying. Alrighty. And then at the bottom of this deck, we have Appreciation, stopping and smelling the roses. So I think that's a valuable thing here, because it is just saying here that you're so scared to make that decision because you don't know what's going to come of it. And that is a fair feeling, of course, but we can't let it keep us in the energy of stagnancy and fear, things like that. So I'm going to pull from this deck. This is my Vision Quest Tarot. Love this deck. It's Native American based. Alrighty. So may we have a clarifying energy for the first row in our past for Cancer. Alright. We have transformation coming out. Transformation in the reverse. So it could have just been a situation you were holding yourself captive in. Hence the walking away in the garden and the gate. Okay, you had the key. You didn't want to open the gate just yet. You weren't ready. Walking away came out in the reverse here. It's like you were close. You knew it needed to be done, but you just didn't yet, right? And it could have been because you were happy at a point, and then a devil card, you know, coming out in the reverse here. So to me, it was almost like an overnight change. This is a little bit dramatic speaking here, but it's almost like you didn't see this one coming, right? You thought you had something good, and it wasn't. Simple put. All right, and this is the Death card also. Transformation is the Death card. This is one of my older decks, so it has a lot of writing from when I was first learning tarot. All right, may we have an energy to represent our present, please. All right, your present is good. You're completing a cycle because it's almost like, look, I don't know which way to go. Okay, I'm going to go left. Oh, that was the right way. Okay, whew. And it's weird because you know what you want to do, but you're just so scared. It's almost like you want someone to tell you, because that way, you know, not so much you'll have someone to blame, but you'll know it wasn't you who did this, right? It's weird. You don't want to feel that guilt of like making this bad decisions for yourself or making a decision that's least favorable for yourself. Too much self-criticism here. All right. So we have the Spiritual Warrior. We have the Chariot coming out for this row. So you are moving forward, whether you know it or not. You are moving forward, and he is holding that, you know, that, what is that, a skull? So that falls right into the Death card here. It's like, look, yeah, you know, I was just walking around. They had this buffalo. I had to shoot it, you know, whatever. But look, I got it. I ate, and I made myself some clothes, and I'm warm, and I'm fed for the winter. So look, it was tough, but I'm moving forward. And that's what this looks like. That's what this looks like. It looks like this is tough. This is unlike anything I've seen. This was a sneak attack, but I'm moving forward. And that seems to be the whole thing about this. The reason why it's so hard is because this was not something you were expecting. You went from sun to devil. Boom. That's cray-cray, right? That's cray-cray. It's almost like, oh my God, you almost like there was like a narcissist energy on your hands, right? It's like, yeah, everything's good, everything's great. But wait, it hasn't been this whole time? When were you going to tell me? I'm sorry, y'all, I talk a lot. So for our last row in our future, may we have a clarifying energy for our Cancer friends, please? You're ready? I am too. Okay. So we have the Daughter of Air. And she would usually be like the, I don't know. I usually think of her as the Queen of Swords. Let me show y'all. And when she I am so sorry. I am a klutz. We have our Queen of Swords here. Now, if you notice with our Daughter of Air, she's holding this feather, light as a feather, right? She has this bird over her head, and she has all this air just kind of flowing around her, all right? She's light on her feet. She's light in the mind space. Not a lot of self-criticism here, but it also talks about that bird being behind her head is because it's almost like an idea arising. It's that self-liberation. So moving into the future, there is a lot of self-liberation happening here for you, Cancer. You are doing this. You are moving forward, whichever way that looks like for you. Let me have another card, please, for our Cancers. And then we'll pull another one from our Sacred Rebels deck just to kind of sum up the reading and give an energy here. But yeah, if I had to say it, I would say it's definitely a relationship here. And going into the situation, it was a good situation. You know, somewhere, I want to say the number right here is like 2 or 3 months. Somewhere towards that, it's almost like things started coming to the surface. And there were things that can be overlooked, but for you, they couldn't be, right? But you thought of things in a logical sense. But once that logical sense went out, you were like, you know what? I'm disrespecting myself. I can't do this no more. That's where that Death card and transformation comes in. That's why the Devil's in reverse here. Because it couldn't hold you down for long. That's my point. You can't be held down for long. Sorry, I dropped the cards. So the two that came out is the Ten of Air, or Ten of Swords. And that's what it looks like. It's a whole bunch of vultures eating at a carcass here, right? And then you have the Six of Air, Clarity. So that's simple enough put. You literally have negative thinking and then clarity. They're coming out together here. So I would definitely try to clear your mind. I would definitely take some time to, whether you meditate, sit in silence, walk, work out, you need some time of peace by yourself to gain this clarity, okay? You're going to find this clarity within yourself here, Cancer. It's not going to be from anyone else. You're only going to get signs from other people, but this clarity is going to come from within because you are the one holding the truth. You are the one holding the key. You are the one holding the key to the gate that you're trying to run out of. But it's almost like a thing of like, Mom, Phineas and Ferb, are doing this again. And then every time Mom comes home, Phineas and Ferb, never are caught, or they're never like, seen, and everything goes by, but then Phineas and Ferb act like nothing happened, and it's almost like you don't feel seen or heard. And it's because whatever's happening, like I keep saying, it's this weird feeling of it pops out of nowhere, or it's so hidden. So there is things that you probably don't know about. There is things probably going on, whether I said this is either I say relationship, but it doesn't have to be. So yeah, clarity. And also look at the dream catcher. So if you find yourself meditating and falling into a little nap, do it. Pay attention. Wake up and write down your dreams, Cancer, okay? It's going to be very important for you. All right, so my last card is going to be from our Sacred Rebels Oracle deck from Alana Fairchild. We love her. All right, and this is what they look like. All right, so here we have a last message for our Cancers. Advice, summon this up, let them know what they can do moving forward. All right, we're going to pull top. We have the conscious connections. All right, and if you look at this card, she's looking at her reflection, and her reflection is looking away from her. So understand that everybody that we meet in life is going to be a reflection of ourselves, whether it's the good parts or the bad parts. And it's up to us to look at that information and see how can we use this other person as a lesson for ourselves. Even if the situation is great, how can I transmute this energy? Okay, I didn't like that this person was a liar. I didn't like that this person was sneaky. Well, what parts of that of myself? Because you can only recognize what you know. Just like spirit can communicate with you through what you know. So you only recognize certain behaviors because it's recognizable. Maybe you do it, or maybe you're around someone who does. So understand that there's always a reflection. We are always connected to someone else. Everyone that you meet is for a reason, season, lifetime, or a lesson. Okay? So be sure we're making conscious connections here, and don't just be so quick to rush into things, but also notice here that there is only one true identity here, and that is self. So just work on being the best self that you can, and just always know here, Cancer, that you don't need someone else, or you don't need anything to feel complete. That all comes from within. We have the green here of the heart. We have this orange umbrella here for the sacral. All right? Be careful how you're giving your energy, okay? Sexual energy exchanges, things like that. All that is a big part. Do not become a battery, and do not become a sponge for other people's negativity or their toxicity in their life. Alrighty, that is what I have for you today, Cancer. And again, I'm so sorry about the lighting and probably even the background noises. It's one of those everything's going on days. So I thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.